Welcome to the Balanced Hustle podcast. I'm your host, Lindsay Sherman, fitness coach for burnt out perfectionist. If you're ready to break free from overwhelm, simplify your nutrition, and make fitness finally work for you instead of against you, you're in the right place. Each week, we'll dive into easy strategies to balance your health with your busy life. Let's hustle for balance, not burnout. Grab a seat and let's dive in. Hello, and welcome back to the podcast. I am here, I just have to say, for the second week in a row, and I'm pretty proud of that fact. I am making it a goal this year to get really consistent with getting this podcast, getting new episodes up. And I'd love to make this a weekly thing, and I intended to do that at the end of last year. But being super pregnant kind of got in the way of that. So podcast, unfortunately, always happens to be the first thing to go when life gets busy, when I'm doing other back-end work, programming for clients, all the things that come with running a business and coaching in life and things like that. But it is something I so enjoy so much. So going to make it a goal to get super consistent with it this year, second week in a row. Hopefully that will happen next week as well. My plan is to record every Friday, and I'm here on Thursday, so I am early this week. Baby's taking a nap. She's taking, I don't know if you can call this her first nap of the day, or if we're still extending from bedtime, if that makes sense, because sometimes she usually wakes up around 6 or 7, and sometimes I will just go back to sleep with her until she wakes up for the next time at 8:30, 9:30. And today I got up at that 6 or 7 time, let her go back to sleep. So she is probably going to wake up soon, whether you call it for the day or, from her first nap of the day. It all kind of blurs together when you have a newborn. Last night, I have to say, was much better than the night before. The night before, she woke up every 2 hours, but last night it was every 4 hours. So we were up around 1 a.m. and around 5, 6 a.m. this morning again. So that I can work with. That is much better. And we've been having more of those nights lately. So if you have kids, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't have kids, that's kind of an idea of possibly what is to come if you plan on having them in the future. But I like the 4-hour stretches, so I'm feeling good this morning. I've got her on the baby monitor here. We are watching her, sipping some water. If you're listening right now, go grab some water. I know you're dehydrated. I know that you need to get some more water in. So diving into today's podcast, today I'm talking about the 6 things that I'm doing to support my body and my mind postpartum. And originally I named this podcast the 3 things I'm doing, the 4 things I'm doing, and then I started listing them out, and I actually came up with 6 things that I'm doing on a daily basis that I feel like have made a huge difference in me feeling really good in my body and mentally postpartum. Now, I've never had a baby before. This is my first baby, so I have nothing to compare this experience to myself. However, when I was pregnant, I spent a lot of time online, as you do, reading other people's stories, reading about their postpartum experiences, and postpartum depression is super real, and that's a very sensitive topic. And I just knew that while many things are out of my control hormone wise, and there's so many shifts and changes that are happening, and have I had moments where I've teared up and cried for no reason after coming home from the hospital? Yes, I have had those moments too. I've had those moments of just being completely exhausted, being grumpy, being cranky, and things like that. However, these are things that I've implemented that I think have helped me come back from those moments and recover better, to have more grace with myself in those moments. And I just knew that I wanted to prioritize doing simple things postpartum that were within my control. And then if other things happen that are outside of my control, I can deal with those as they come. But I knew that I did have control in this journey, and I wanted to do some things to feel as good as I could, again, with things that I could control, and really take ownership of postpartum. So with that being said, first let's talk about the things that I am doing physically to support my body postpartum, because there are some major changes that happen. As everyone knows, when you have a baby and you want to feel good about your body postpartum, but also you're kind of in this phase where you're home, in my case, like, is super cold outside, super snowy, like, we're not going anywhere. We wouldn't really go anywhere with a newborn. Like, we wouldn't take her to a lot of public places anyway, but like, I can't get out and go walk on the trails by my house right now. So being stuck inside the house, I mean, it's been below 10 degrees here for like 3 weeks now. Being stuck in the house, a lot of the time, being on the couch with the baby, watching a lot of TV, maybe doing a lot of doom scrolling on TikTok, on Instagram, things like that, it can be really easy to start not feeling so great about your body, especially as you recover from having a baby, because you're not like moving like you should. You're not getting out, and I'm not saying you should be moving a lot, but you're not moving like you normally are, which always helps us feel better about our bodies. And you're also not cleared to work out yet, so you can't dive into workouts. You can't really do anything, strenuous, heavy lifting. Can't really go out and like get on the bike. That sounds terrible postpartum, but things like those cardio things, those things that give us the dopamine, we're not really getting that postpartum. So what I'm doing physically are a few things to help me feel good in my body, and also prep me for when I can start working out again, to make that transition smoother and easier, as well as to help my recovery from having a baby, and also support my body as I'm taking care of my baby, as I'm breastfeeding and need to, have care in my body for those things. So first thing, non-negotiable, is daily water goal. Making sure that I am super well hydrated. Again, I'm producing milk, I'm feeding a baby at all hours. I want to avoid migraines, headaches, want to take care of my skin. I mean, everything that water does for us. I want to have good energy. So really prioritizing having a water goal. That is something so manageable postpartum, especially because you're probably sitting on the couch a lot, having a big water bottle next to you that you just keep filled up, that you can just keep sipping on all day. You're home, the bathroom's here, it's easy to do and very manageable, and makes a huge difference. So number 1 is having a water goal. Number 2, I've actually given myself a step goal. And I talked about this a little bit in the last episode about how I started super, super low, at a super low step goal. And I mean, like, I was not even getting 1,000 steps a day, right? So my first step goal, I believe a couple weeks ago, was 3,000 steps. And I'm now almost up to 6,000 steps now. Now, this step goal wasn't really about like pushing myself to, be running all around and exercising a ton, because again, I want to be careful. You have to wait 6 weeks at least to kind of get into working out, things like that again. But walking is something that is so good for us, and that you can definitely still do postpartum. And Also, when you're sitting on the couch as much as you are with your baby, your back starts to hurt, your tailbone starts to hurt. I know my tailbone hurt like crazy after being in the hospital bed. It felt so good to lay down in our own bed and also to just walk around again. I tried to walk around as much as I could in the hospital room, but I find that the more I walk here at home, the better I feel. So I've just been walking around the house. I've been, pacing up and down in the living room while I'm holding her, just walking laps around the kitchen some days, and nothing like strenuous. I'm not like running around. I'm just doing like some light household chores, doing some laundry, again doing some dishes, loading the dishwasher, and then I also have my walking pad here in the living room that I've just been doing some light walking on while watching some TV while she's napping, and then I can also have her in a carrier on me while I'm walking too. So that is something that's also very manageable, and again, not something that I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to get 10,000 steps every single day. It's just enough to push me to get off the couch, because it's so easy to just sit on the couch all day when you're home with a newborn. And again, I feel so much better when I do it. So it's just enough to just push me a little bit and also help me not start from zero when I start working out again, and not going from couch to, wanting to go all in. And not that I'm going to go crazy when I'm cleared to work out, but not feeling like starting from complete scratch. So when I am cleared to work out, I will go in already having some consistent daily steps, and it will just kind of be a staircase from there, adjusting, my workouts and the intensity level and things like that as I get stronger and move up. Okay, the third thing, speaking of workouts, speaking of physical things, this is the last physical thing on my list, is stretching and breath work. So I would say more so mobility and core work, breath work, than really stretching. Like, I'm not trying to get like a lot more flexible right now. Your body still has relaxin increased after having a baby, so your body's still going through that, and you don't want to overstretch. So breath work, I've been doing some postpartum breath work, just kind of 360 breathing in, expanding your whole rib cage, and then breathing out, bringing everything in, feeling that pelvic floor engage, things like that, laying on the floor doing breath work, sitting on the couch doing breath work. And then I've just started doing some light mobility work, core work. We're not like doing crunches here. We're doing things like breathing in a cat-cow position, doing cat-cow, something like lying on your back and doing heel slides. And I'm happy to make some more resources on this as well. I did just get postpartum certified too, so that is awesome. Things like heel slides, so like when you're laying on your back, knees bent, sliding one heel out till your leg is straight and bringing it back in. It sounds like nothing, but oh my gosh, I started doing that earlier this week, and I can feel it in my core. So little things to just start to reconnect, re-engage with my core. It feels good to move. I'm not overdoing it. I'm not, going crazy where I'm going to hurt myself or have a negative effect, but it's going to be huge as I transition back into working out here, hopefully within the next few weeks. So that's number 3. Number 4 is kind of a household thing, but it's made a big difference for me. So that is a daily kitchen reset. And I am someone who has struggled for years with maintaining like a clean kitchen. Like, I love to have a clean kitchen. My brain feels so much better mentally when I do. But working a 9 to 5 and, owning a business, always kind of filling my time, after work, before work, I gave myself a lot of excuses to not do like a daily kitchen reset. And I've gotten a really good habit of it since I've been home with the baby. And I really wish that I would have done this sooner when I was still working. But this has made a big difference. And what I'm doing is I'm spending 5 to 10 minutes every night after dinner, or even during dinner, like while dinner's cooking. I will do this and either loading and unloading the dishwasher, and depending on how many dishes there are, because there's just the two of us and the baby. So, unloading, loading the dishwasher, running it. If we have used any bottles, I'm primarily breastfeeding now, but occasionally we use some bottles, things like that. I will put those in the bottle washer and sterilizer, and then just wiping down the counters. And if there's like any mail that's come in from the day, throwing out the junk mail, putting the important mail where it needs to go, and just doing a 5 to 10 minute kitchen reset. And I will tell you, it felt way harder in the beginning than it does now. I've been consistent with it for a month now. I've literally put it on my fitness habit in my app with my fitness habits. So it's like water goal, step goal, kitchen reset every day. And it feels way easier now. Now it's like, oh my gosh, why did I not do this before? And I know that I could have done this even while working my 9 to 5, while running my business. It's just so much easier now. And it's just like working out. Working out at first always feels like this huge mountain that you have to tackle. And then you start doing it and you're like, oh, it's not fun all the time, but I feel good every time I do it. And that's how this is. And I can just wake up in the morning. I can make myself a better breakfast because I have counter space and I'm not overwhelmed by the mess. And it just feels so good. So that has helped me a ton, especially with being home, because I'm looking at the kitchen all the time, and I have not been stressed once about oh my gosh, I need to spend an hour today, doing dishes and cleaning the kitchen because I've gotten behind. Every day it's a tiny little thing to do. So that has helped me so much mentally and also physically in our house. I'm so much happier in the house having that done. The fifth thing is getting ready every single day. Do I get ready at the same time every single day? No, that depends on Rory. That depends on her and her schedule. But when she's napping, I take the opportunity and I get dressed. I don't always put on makeup. It depends on the day. I don't always put in my contacts, but I am getting dressed, I'm taking a shower, and I'm just not being in my pajamas all day. Even if I have nowhere to go. Trust me, I have not left this house. I think I've left this house once in the last 2 weeks. Partially because I have a newborn, partially because the weather sucks out there. I've ordered groceries to be delivered to my house, so that has been helpful. But getting ready every single day, no matter what, just helps me feel so much better about myself, even if it's just taking off pajamas and putting on leggings instead, and it's still just as comfortable, but it is a little bit more ready and put together than being in your pajamas all day. And the sixth and very last thing that I have on my list, primarily to keep my mind happy, to support my mind postpartum, is having mentally stimulating things for myself. And that is not watching TV, watching YouTube, scrolling on TikTok. Even though I fully support that, I want to limit it. I support it. It's fun for a period of time, but I want to limit that and have other things that keep my brain stimulated, especially postpartum, because you're talking to a baby all day and I'm talking to the dogs. There's not much mental stimulation happening there, especially if you're not working. So what I have done is I actually have been working. I've been working on my business, and I started taking on some new clients sooner than I had planned to, just because it felt good. I told myself, I'd give it a couple months unless it felt better sooner, and it felt better sooner, and that helped me mentally stay stimulated. Other things I've been doing to stay mentally happy, mentally stimulated are reading novels. It's fun, it's my hobby, but it keeps me mentally stimulated, keeps my brain happy. And other hobbies like embroidering is something that I've taken up this year. I'm learning as I go. I'm not a professional at it by any means. It's fun. I do it, while I'm watching TV. I can do it while I'm chatting, with my husband. I can do it while I'm chatting on the phone with a friend or my parents, something like that. That also keeps me mentally stimulated, mentally happy. And another thing that I just brought up that I didn't have on my list was talking to friends, having phone calls, chatting with them, just keeping things going. I have a friend who lives a few hours from me, and I've been able to chat with her a little bit more since I've been home, and that has really helped keep my brain happy as well. So these are the 6 things I'm doing postpartum to support my body and my mind, and I hope that it helps you if you are either A, currently pregnant and going into a postpartum journey, if you are B, currently postpartum and trying to figure it all out, or C, maybe you are just going through a life transition right now and you're feeling kind of stuck, you're feeling kind of, not so good about yourself maybe, and you're just looking for little ways to get back on track, get back to feeling better. I hope that this is helpful for you as well if you are that person. So with that, I will plan on being here next week on Friday or Thursday if I'm early again, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Balanced Hustle podcast. If today's episode resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Be sure to leave a review or share with someone who needs a little extra balance in their hustle. For more tips, tools, and resources to help you reclaim your energy and build the strong, vibrant life you deserve, follow me on Instagram at LindsaySherman_fitness, and don't forget to subscribe here so you don't miss a single episode. Until next time, remember, progress is always better than perfection. Keep taking those small steps. They'll tell you exactly where you need to go. Talk soon.